All right, just sitting here. I'm Joe Murray. It is Tuesday, May 5th, which is another holiday. We've had two holidays this week. We had May the 4th, for all those Star Wars people. May the 4th be with you. Today is May 5th. No, it is not anything to do with Star Wars. It is Cinco de Mayo. And I hope everybody will be celebrating today. That's going to be the theme of this podcast for the day. My guest today will be Kristen Surman. She's from 98.5 The Sports Hub. She's got a keen eye on the brewery world, the food world, the North Shore world, and a little sports as well. So we'll bring her in just a minute here. Of course, tomorrow is Wednesday. That would be the return of the 6th, and may the 6th be with you for all those Star Wars people out there. But again, you can chat it on the show today. There's a little comment feature on Facebook or on Twitter. You can chat right in. We can get into anything you guys want to talk about. And, of course, today's theme will be Cinco de Mayo. I'm Joe Murray. Just Sitting Here is on Spotify, on YouTube, and on iTunes. So, everybody, appreciate you checking out all the past shows. And I will continue to do this until we can't do this anymore, which I think everybody hopes very soon. So, without further ado, I'll bring in my guest for today. Her name is Kristen Surman. She's from 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's going on? Cinco de Mayo.
What's up, Kristen? So people generally hear your voice or hear people on the radio say your name because you work as a producer at the station. But, you know, you got a little creativity to you. You're not just the girl who pushes buttons or might not like sports or might like certain things about sports. So I figured we could have some fun with it, considering that today is Cinco de Mayo. But first, I have to ask you this question because we've asked every guest this.
Yes.
We're stuck in quarantine, okay? If you could choose one person to be quarantined with from the place in Dorchester that we hang out at, who would be that one person?
So a couple of weeks ago, I said Billy Lanny, no brainer, and I still go with Billy, but since I already said Billy before, I'm going to go with my very close second choice, just to change it up a bit. And that would be Sean Silver. Sean Silver is always, he comes into work, he's always positive. He has great taste in music, get along really well with Sean. And he always has a project going on at his house, whether he's gardening or painting the dining room. He's always busy. So I feel like if I was stuck in quarantine, we'd always have something to do.
It's a good answer. Kristen's in her new pad that she's in on a busy street where they're doing road work or they're doing something out there today.
Building across the street all for like the past week and a half, 7 o'clock in the morning, jackhammers going, everything. They're putting plants, trees, rocks, and they're dressing up the apartment across the street. And it's been nonstop noise.
And there was a naked guy there recently that streaked through the neighborhood.
Suspect, yeah.
Just went outside. Somebody saw someone naked and pulled a gun out.
No, I don't know the story.
That's the story I heard.
I'm not 100%, but all I saw was a video on Facebook of a guy sprinting through the streets here, and I didn't see him, thankfully, but someone caught it on camera, and what a sight.
All right, Kristen. So it's Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
I wish I had like a sombrero on, or
I have some of these.
Oh, you do? Oh, there you go, little show. Yeah, because like that's the kind of day.
Rona ready to go, but save it.
Boom! You got the Rona ready to go. Okay, cool. Yeah. So like a Modelo would be very good for today, or sure. Maybe tequila shots or things to that degree. So we'll get into all that. I think this is a great day to be festive. This isn't your typical Cinco de Mayo. This is a Taco Tuesday / Cinco de Mayo. So if you're not having Mexican for dinner tonight, or anything, like you could have started your day with like, you know, eggs and quesadillas or whatever. You know what I mean? Like
I had tacos. I made pork tacos for lunch today.
There you go. So you've already started the day. I'm going to go to some establishment here on the North Shore. I'm not sure which one, but I have many choices. We can discuss this. But I'm ready to go for the Cinco de Mayo. So my first thing when it comes to Cinco de Mayo is the drinks. Okay, because the food will take its time. But a margarita, okay? I'm sure you like a margarita. Are you a frozen or on the rocks girl? And is it a salt or sugar on the rim?
I'll go either way, but I lean towards on the rocks, but I don't want salt or sugar. I don't want any of it on the rim.
Really?
Now, if I'm gonna use one or the other, I'd go with the salt, but I don't need it. I don't want it.
So the tequila is what gets me. Like it's just there's something about the tequila that like that's why there's a song, right?
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it just does something to people. It does once it hits me, I'm like, where are we dancing? What are we doing? But the taste though is now something that like I drink something and I'm like, ooh, tequila. No, like I know immediately that's it for me. So it doesn't always have to be a margarita. For example, tequila shots. I know people like tequila shots. I don't know if you're a tequila person.
Sure.
But now, are you someone who drink has it with the salt?
No, I don't. Just the shot. I don't use the salt or the lemon, whatever. I don't use anything. I just toss it back.
Wow.
No chaser.
No chaser. Oh my god. I see. I can't do it anymore. Back in my heyday, I could do all that. Like I can't even smell vodka anymore.
See, vodka. I don't know. Vodka does something different to me. I try not to. I can handle tequila pretty well, but the vodka is a different. No, I stay away from that.
People checking in right away. Atta girl. That should be like Kristen's headline or like a T-shirt. No chaser. You know what I mean? They'll just know that she'll go right up there and take that tequila shot with you, no problem. Because the bros, right? They'll do the salt, the lemon. Me, I'm just gonna pass.
Too much. Just go.
To me, I would just pass. I'm like, nope, no, thank you. Like, I'm out. Sorry, like not interested in that one. Also, the silver and gold, right? There's the silver, there's the gold tequila. Do you have a preference on that?
No preference. Maybe lean towards silver.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, it was gold back in my day.
Yeah.
I just can't do it anymore. Like today I would. Like today it was like, hey Joe, here's like, well, not a tequila shot, but here's a margarita. I'd have some fun with it,
Yeah.
I'd probably go no rim too. Like I don't need the window dressing. Just give me the alcohol. That's all I need for today.
Yep.
Now, all right. So we got and again, Corona with a lime. It has to be with a lime.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That's the way I roll. The Corona Light. I don't know.
Right. I'll have a Corona Light. Why not?
But Modelo, I like a lot. I'll go with a Modelo every once in a while. I see the commercials now all the time everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure there's plenty of other drinks out there when it comes to that. But my big thing when it comes to Mexican food is salsa. All right. My favorite is pineapple salsa.
Ooh.
So like in or out on fruit in salsa.
When it comes to salsa, I'm kind of spicy stuff in general, I'm kind of a wimp. And I have a weird allergy. And sometimes if there's certain peppers and stuff, I like just to keep it kind of simple. I like a little, just medium salsa. And I hate salsa that has corn in it. Corn, leave it out. I don't want it.
Do you not like corn or?
I like corn, but not in the salsa. I don't know. It just ruins it for me. I don't know.
All right, so let's just use
now that's interesting.
Newman's pineapple salsa recommendation. Everybody go out and get it. It's better than whatever they give you a Tostito or whatever those things are called. The pineapple salsa, that's where it's at. And then there's sometimes a trick too, like you can get the salsa right and then put like sour cream in it and mix it around, then put cheese on top of it and put it in the oven.
The layered dip.
Now you get yourself a layered dip.
Oh, my friend Sarah makes the best layered dip you'll ever have. Oh, she'll bring it to every party, and everyone they'll make her bring it too. Like, you're going to bring that tonight, right? Like, and she will make it every time.
It's a must.
Oh.
And then there's, and again, now we'll get into the chip for a minute here, the tortilla in a second here. But like, I like mine mild. I like a mild salsa. I don't like the spicy hot stuff. Just like my buffalo wing or a buffalo fingers.
Yeah, not medium. I'd go mild too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, medium's fine. Like medium, mild, whatever. Like it's essentially the same. But you ever go to like Chipotle or Qdoba, one of these places, and then
Oh yeah.
you get, all right, yeah, this is what I want in my burrito or whatever, and then they say, okay, what kind of salsa do you want? And then it's like the salsa sometimes is just chopped up tomatoes. Like, I don't want your tomato. I want your sauce. Your salsa sauce.
The chopped up tomatoes. That's usually what I get.
Just the tomatoes?
Yeah.
Not like okay, like this is fun. I'm interested in this. So like I love this. People might be offended by this, but I love Chili's salsa.
Okay.
Give me a chili salsa. Give me a temazcal. You ever had them? Or they got and I guess we should probably go on with queso dip.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the queso dip is better than the salsa. So, and then this is where it comes down to for me, Kristen. I don't love guac. Are you a guac person?
I like guac.
So I went to like this place and they just started making the guac in front of me, and it was making this like weird squishy sound, and I was out. I couldn't do it. I'd stare at it. It was green. It was squishy, and I was out. And I know people love guac. I'm just out on it.
I enjoy it. I'll have it. I'm not going to go out of my way to order it at a restaurant, but if my friends want it, I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll add some guac to it. Why not?
So if you like had to make your go-to, if it was like your go-to, okay, what would be like your go-to Mexican dinner?
So I'll usually go, if I'm going to a place like Qdoba, I'm going to get a burrito. So I'm going to get a burrito, chicken or steak, depending on what I'm in the mood for, rice, sour cream, and then those little tomato things that you don't like at the Qdoba, just chopped tomatoes. But I mean, if I'm going to sit down at a Mexican restaurant, I'll get a chicken quesadilla. Cut up into 4 slices. And
what's on the side?
Sour cream.
Wow. And are you one of these people that like has to have sour cream when they have their burrito or taco? It's like you won't even eat it. If the dip's not there, you're out.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the only person I've seen like that before.
What about you? What's your go-to dish?
I mean, for me, I prefer no salad. Out on any lettuce or any of that stuff, okay? But if you want to give me hard or soft, which we'll discuss in a minute here, hard or soft, beef, chicken, or just regular ground beef or whatever, or steak, with just rice and cheese.
Yeah.
You can pop that on any kind, or just you could put it in a burrito as well.
Yes, that's usually what I do.
Now, corn in a burrito, in or out?
Out.
So you just like your corn on the side left alone?
I like corn when I'm having like mashed potatoes and like meat. If I'm having like meatloaf and mashed potatoes and corn and a salad, like for a Sunday dinner. Corn is a Sunday dinner with the family food.
You know what I want to make soon is this has nothing to do with Cinco de Mayo, but I want to get corn on the cobs. Wrap them in bacon, and then pop them on the grill.
No way.
You wouldn't eat that?
I have never heard of that before.
Well, I'm making it up now.
What? So you've never tried it before, or
I haven't? No. So if I had a Murray mixer too, okay.
Bacon is so overrated too.
How is bacon overrated?
Everyone goes crazy over bacon, and like I'm good for like 2 strips if I'm at a continental breakfast. Sure, I'll toss it on my plate, but you don't have to put bacon on everything.
Have you ever had? All right, so I know you like to go to Foxwoods, right? And all the casino.
No, I don't go to the casino.
Okay, all right. Well, some places make these hanging bacon strips.
Yeah.
Of like they're like honey battered and like smoked, and they're long. They hang. They like put them in some sort of like thing, and then when you get them, it's like the greatest tasting thing in the world. No, you have no interest.
Again, bacon's fine, but everyone's obsessed with it.
Oh man!
Bacon.
All right. What's the best tortilla chip? Now, are you at Tostitos? But will you just go straight Tostito? Do you like the chip, or you more of a scoop? Well, what's in Kristen Surman's bag of chips?
It's just regular tortilla chip. I like the scoop because it's just easier to dip, so that's helpful. But I'm not too picky. I don't really have any specific chip brand that I buy.
So scoop is fine. The regular is fine, and you're in.
Yep.
You don't discriminate against a certain type of dipping chip.
No.
What about when it comes to like regular dips? Like do you want like a ruffled chip when it comes to like a dip? Or
yes, definitely. You got to have the ruffle when you have the the French onion dip there.
The hell of a good
hell of a good. Yes, when you're having hell of a good, you have to have a ruffle chip. Absolutely.
Okay. How about fajitas? Like I like fajitas, right? They come out, everything's smoking. I don't love the scene that it makes when it comes out of the oven or whatever like that. It's all through the restaurant. But I like a good fajita with the little onions here and there.
Nah, I'm out on fajitas.
Wow. Yeah. That's shocking to me. Hard or soft shell?
I'm gonna go soft because I think if you're eating a hard shell and it crumbles and cracks, it's gone. Like you're done. But I think with the soft shell, if it gets messy, you can kind of, make adjustments and hold it a different way or like shape. You know what I'm saying? Like you can kind of, yeah.
I like a hard shell, but you break that thing, it's all over the place.
Yeah, and I think
sometimes it might not be baked right. Sometimes it might be cold. Sometimes there's something about a hard shell that it needs to have its it needs to be perfect. So of course Peter's checking in.
Yeah. Hey Peter.
The bacon can't be overrated. This might be something that our colleague Matt McCarthy doesn't like turkey. Okay. On Thanksgiving Day, turkey's out. He thinks it's useless, and I still can't believe that. It's to me like, how do you not like turkey?
Mm-hmm.
You like bacon, you just think it's overrated?
It's just like, oh my God, put it on a burger, put it on this, put it on it's too much.
Like bacon on chicken, you don't like?
Huh?
Bacon chicken? No? Bacon on a burger? No?
No, you don't need it. Just slap on some cheese and ketchup and call it a day. It's good.
Wow. This is like shocking to me. People, you are right though. To your point, people do rave about bacon a little too much.
Yeah.
Like, people put bacon bits on everything. What about bacon on mac and cheese?
You don't need it. Don't need it.
What do you put on a mac and cheese? Are you just would you do buffalo mac? You wouldn't do like buffalo or?
Yeah, different flavors of you get little buffalo chicken inside. It's mixed, but.
Are you a fish tacos person?
Yeah, I can do fish tacos. Not my first choice, but sure.
Is it? Yeah, to me, I feel. I don't love fish tacos, but I feel like that'd be something that would be like a appetizing if you were at the beach, maybe.
You know who has the Cool Ranch? There's Cool Ranch chicken tacos down at sea level, down at the wharf in Salem.
All right, that's where we're going now. Let's talk about some spots. So just so people know, I am from Boston. So I grew up in Boston. Like the Mexican places in my area were the little local joint down there. The Three Amigos, the Purple Cactus. Like those are the things that I grew up with. And all of a sudden you start to hear about the Anna's Taqueria, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I lived in Swampscott for a period of time, and I realized in downtown Lynn there was a place called Tacos Lapido that was unbelievable. Like I'd never heard of these places. Then in downtown Salem, there's a place called the Howling Wolf, which for my money, pound for pound, is my favorite Mexican joint. Now it might be more American Mexican than it is anything else, but I love the Howling Wolf. So, are there any other recommendations that you have, Kristen, being from the North Shore?
So I would say try La Victoria in Beverly.
Mm.
Um,
What are they known for? Like what do they have on the
Very,
menu?
like, it's just a small. It's not a restaurant. It's not a sit down restaurant. It's kind of a small little shop. You go in. And Fuego is pretty good in Beverly as well. La Siesta in Peabody.
La Siesta. I've driven by. I haven't had it yet.
It's pretty good. I mean, I'm not an expert on Mexican restaurants, but Howling Wolf blows everything
Mm.
away.
Yeah. So if you're in like Salem, don't go during Halloween, okay? Because you can't get home. Like like sometimes I'm like driving on 128 and I'm like, why am I stopped? It's because of Salem. So
Yeah,
from like the end of September to like Thanksgiving, just avoid Salem at all costs because you won't be able to get in or out of that place.
yeah.
But like chain restaurants, right? Like I mentioned Temescal, like I like Temescal. I think that's a nice little chain restaurant. Again, I think they have the best queso dip going. It's like
Really.
a white, cheesy, queso. It's so good. And like a nice baked tortilla chip.
Okay.
Okay. Now the good one around here that I think everyone goes to is Border Cafe.
Border. Yep.
The Border Cafe, you could sit down, get a fountain full of drink, chips, salsa, your order in less than 15 minutes, and for two people, it's probably under $40.
Yep. Border seems to be a very It's a go-to for many people for sure.
But like a good like Mexican place is hard to find. Like unless you just go with your go-to all the time. What was that place that used to be on Route 1 there?
Car dealership now, right?
Yeah, what was that?
Cactus.
The Fat Cactus. Probably why it's no longer in business anymore. But yeah, some good spots there, Kristen Surman. So, all right, we had some fun. We had a little bit, you got the maracas out there, and
I'm gonna take a sip. My Corona, is that okay?
that's what we do here. And I'll again for the people that want to join in, you can chat in right to the comments here. People add a girl, no chaser. I think is what we learned today with Kristen so far. Russ Goldman checking in. Keep up the great work, Joe. Thanks, Russ.
Oh, hey, Russ.
You keep up the great work as well. He's a big Patriots guy. And the bacon conversation, Kristen.
Sorry.
I think it's something that we're gonna have to continue to talk about over time. But your radio journey. So I started at the Sports Hub in 2011. And were you before me or after me at the Sports Hub?
I was after. So I started August 2012. So about a year after you. I was, let's see, like a couple months after I graduated college, I got in there. And I started working street team, doing promotions. And then about a year in, I was talking to Rick Radzik, and he's like, hey, do you ever have any interest in, learning the board or, programming side of things? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So then that fall, my first night training was with you and Jeremy.
That's right.
Won the World Series.
That was the 2013 Red Sox World Series win.
Yeah.
And I was doing an after-hours show for Continued Sports Talk. I think it was like midnight whenever.
God, till Toucher and Rich got on. Yep. So that was night training on the board. So Jeremy was showing, it was madness though. People were calling all night. It's pretty crazy. And so yeah, that's kind of, I didn't have any radio experience. I just learned as I went along. I soaked up as much as I could and, just wanted to, be available and try everything while I'm there. And so here I am almost 8 years later. So
what people can learn about this is there's two things. One, availability is the best ability. And I'm going to say that every day. That might go on. That'd be my shirt. But no chaser sounds better. But the other thing too is the pipeline to get a radio job is doing promotions or doing something behind the scenes that like the dirty work, right? Like hey, there's an event coming up. We need people to be there. Can someone drive the van? Can somebody talk to the audience? Can someone put this thing together? And like, if you're reliable in those ways and they see that you can do those type of things, they'll ask you to do other things along the way.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I was working in the promotions office here and there, just doing a little, just trying to do as much as I can, and got an opportunity. So I said, yeah, sure. It was funny. So I want to say, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago or whatever, when all of this started, the lockdown and everything, I talked to Maria in Watertown. She calls it
caller. Yep. To the hockey show. Yeah.
Yeah, she's always the first caller. She's so sweet, and she'd always wanted to ask me how I got into it. And we talked for like over an hour on a Zoom chat, and I was like, I wish I had better advice for people, and like, because she wants to get into it and she wants to, do podcasts and things like that. And it is a good route to take these days, podcasts for sure. I mean, you can kind of do your own thing and, build something.
That's the thing. Like, we could sit here and, hey, so what do you think when sports gonna come back? And do you think there'll be fans in the stands?
I'm tired. Yeah, I know.
There's gonna be no London game this year, and like we don't care. And I told people the story with me. Like when I first started, I played sports, I knew sports, so I thought that trying to be that not so much know-it-all, but the guy who like knew sports and could talk it was the way to go. And it was like, it didn't work. It was like, who's this guy? All right, I don't want to hear him. Like, do you have any other balance besides talking sports? And then like one day I was like, hey, like I gamble on sports and here it is. Or, started talking about like what bothers me or my ride in or what I got for food on the way in or what I'm doing later. And like, that's what people want to hear about is like, what's the latest to talk about? So like, for instance, this podcast we're doing today, you don't like bacon. I like bacon. Other people complain like, hey, what's up with that? And it's a conversation that could go on for hours. Hey, Kristen started on the street team. Whoa, so you got a job from being yes, like this is the stuff that people are interested in and want to talk about because it's the water cooler conversation, but at the same time you can give a good take on it. And it's not just like, whatever. Like if you believe in it, you're in. If you don't believe in it, you're out and you have a take why on everything. So I have another question for you. Did at one point you work for the Patriots Hall of Fame or did you do something with the Patriots Hall of Fame?
I did. So when I was probably a sophomore in college, maybe, I went to Salem State and I was born and raised in Peabody, commuted to Salem State. So
Peabody.
North Shore girl. My whole life, but so I commuted from Peabody to Foxborough for about a year.
Woof.
Yeah, and it was every weekend because obviously I'm in school Monday through Friday doing classes, and I was also working another job at the time afterwards. So then weekends I was down at the Hall of Fame, and that was 2009 to like 2010. So, and then after a while, I was just like, I can't keep driving down here.
Yeah, and you were a sports fan. You'd meet all the players and take the pictures and do all that, and you have a plethora of jerseys. I know.
Yeah. I jerseys though, because I think I'm a jersey jinx, so I don't.
Jersey. So good call on that. The last jersey I've owned from the Patriots was Rob Gronkowski, so I'll stop on that one. But before that, it was Gerard Mayo, and then it was Richard Seymour. So, like, all of them, like, Mayo retired, Gronk is whatever. Yeah. And I'll ask you about him in a minute. And then Seymour, whatever. Speaking of Seymour in the Hall of Fame, though, the Patriots Hall of Fame vote will be announced this Friday.
Oh, I know. Something like that online, yep.
It's Bill Parcells, it's Mike Vrabel, and Richard Seymour. So if Kristen had to make her choice for one to be into the Patriots Hall of Fame this week, who would it be?
Right now, I think you got to go Seymour. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I hope it's Seymour, but I have this thing about.
But
yes, yeah, I was gonna say. I think you're like a Vrabel. Yeah, I know you like. Yeah, the Vrabel jersey. I know that.
Yeah.
But he beat the Pats last year, so he can wait.
Yeah, he can wait a couple years.
But Bill Parcells, like I just let him in. Just let him in. Like, what do we have to vote this guy in for? It's all these petty Patriots fans, right? It's like the Ray Allen analogy. People still hate Ray Allen for leaving the Celtics.
I don't hate Ray Allen. I know.
But he bettered himself and won a championship.
I know. But back to the Patriots Hall of Fame thing, though, I thought that they've inducted multiple players before at once. Like, I feel like there's like when those inductions happened, there was all 2 or 3 maybe.
So I think they might like have a veteran guy in. I don't know.
Okay.
maybe that's the way. But generally, it's like a player fan vote.
Yeah.
And last year was Ty Law or Rodney Harrison.
It was Rodney last.
Rodney, okay, yeah.
Because Ty went into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A couple people checking in. Definitely in on fruit and salsas. Mr. Renfro's mango habanero. And he wrote that on my Twitter. So there is a way that you can do that on the chat, bro.
I was gonna say I didn't see that in the chat.
So we could see it, man. Go right to the chat service there. All right. So we talked about this a couple of weeks back, but we did a Zoom on the Weekenders, which can be heard on YouTube. You first off were out on the NFL draft.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just with everything going on. I wasn't in the mood. I don't know. Like years past, I've always looked forward to it. I would go to, like I think I mentioned, I would go to Vince Wilfork's draft day parties, and the players are there.
Oh, wait! Tell me about that. What was that about?
Was down at this place in like Pins in Milford.
Yeah.
But like everyone was there. It was great. Gerard Mayo was down there, and like Lonnie Paxton and Ty Warren and all those guys are down there. And this was like, I don't know, maybe 2008, 2009. Like again, back when I would work at the Hall of Fame. And it was great. I mean, food, drinks, everyone was just hanging out, having a good time.
What does Vince Wilfork have cooking at his?
He's good. They had a good spread.
Does he grill? Because I've seen him grill before.
Not at his parties,
okay.
But because it was weird. When I was a senior in high school and I did the shot put, I know that he did the shot put when he was in high school. So we were talking about that, and he had given me a tip on the stance that I should do, because I didn't do the spin. I just kind of flew back and let it and like launched it. But he's like, "Oh no, you gotta do the spin." And then the next time I saw him, he remembered the conversation. He goes, "Did you remember to do the spin?" And I said, "No, I never tried it." That was it.
Look at that.
Yeah, so he was really cool. But like, I was all into that draft stuff. But now I don't know. It's weird too. Do you find it that ever since you started working in sports radio, it's like being a fan it's changed your way in that you're a fan.
Yeah, you can't be a fanboy anymore or a fangirl.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, you have to look at it in a totally different way now.
Like we're doing show
in a negative way, and I'm
like I'm sitting next to Troy Brown.
Yeah,
I'm sitting next to him, and it's like, how do I not be like, "Hey, what's up, man? Dude, you had that sick punt return, dude." Like, you can't. You just got to be like, "What's up, man? Yep, we're here just doing a job."
It is weird though. Like I do feel like now I don't really look at them like when I was younger. Like you're like, "Oh my god, all these players," but they're just regular guys at the end of it. Ted Johnson is awesome. Like and when I see him, I don't think like, "Oh my god," like Ted. Like he's just he's so kind. He's very easy to get along with. And,
what I love about Ted is we're all one of the guys.
Yeah.
Like, we're all, like when we go out, like he comes out, like if we have like an event or whatever, like he comes and hangs out. So I think that's what's even Flynn, right? Mike Flynn.
Flynn's great.
These guys won Super Bowls and had multi-million-dollar contracts.
Like coming out and hang with me, like what?
Yeah, exactly. That is kind of funny because like the hockey people are the nicest. You wouldn't even know. Like if they didn't have their jersey on, you wouldn't know who they were. And the basketball players like Isaiah Thomas, people loved that when he was in town, and it's kind of hard for them to go out. They get noticeable. They're so tall, But the football, even the football players, it's like, "Oh, hey man, what's up?" And it's just you're just cool with them all around. But you were out on the draft. Yeah. You had no excitement, no draft party at the pad.
No, well, you couldn't anyways. You can't have anything.
Oh, that's true. So Tom Brady left. He's gone. He's out. Yeah. He went to Tampa Bay, and his friend Gronk goes with him. There's lots of trademarks that Gronk's that Brady's been doing. Tampa Bay, and I tried to copyright Tampa 2, but someone already got to it. But all these Tom Brady memes and Tom Brady getting caught running places and being in someone else's apartment, and Now everything that he's doing, you're not happy with Tom Brady anymore.
Oh, well, it's like, who are you, man? Like, what are you doing? And like the trademarks, TB12 is all you need. What else? It's getting to be just a little much. I don't know.
Did you see the orange hair that he had the other day?
The orange hair?
Yeah, he did I wish I could find it.
Did I say? Yeah. Well, it was. I don't think it was. It wasn't real. It was like.
Yeah, he was trying to like be like embrace the orange and play for the Bucks, and it is like with the Patriots. What we loved about him was he was this like underachiever, this overachiever really, who like beat the odds, and then oh wow, he's got a hot wife now, and she's a supermodel, and he's the greatest player of all time, and he worked hard for everything, and was down 28-3, and comes back and wins or whatever, and now he's just like oh you're Brady. Oh, you need all the money. Oh, you need another endorsement. More trademarks. Oh, now you need Gronk. And it's like, yeah, you're right. It is starting to become a little like, Brady.
And the thing is I knew he wasn't going to come back, right? Like we were all kind of ready for him to move on somewhere else. But it's just, I was ready. I was like, all right, I'm going to root for the Patriots all the time, obviously. And then, I want to root for Tom to succeed as well because he wanted to still be here. He if the Patriots paid him, he would have come back, right? And they didn't want him, whatever. So they moved on. If he wants to continue to play and he can still play, go kick some ass, like absolutely. But it's just when the Gronk thing happened, I'm like, really? Like this whole year, like you kind of disappeared and you tried doing the wrestling thing and all these other little side projects that didn't work out. And like playing in New England was really that bad that you had to kind of string everybody along to say, oh, am I going to come back? Am I not? Am I this? And I like, you kind of screwed the team over, buddy. And
twice.
And I just, you're going to go down to Tampa?
Yeah, no.
I don't know.
Speaking of that,
I like them both. I just, I don't know, it rubs me the wrong way.
You're over it now. You're over it. When they're wearing your uniform, you're in, and when they're not, it's like come out.
I still want them to do well, but I just.
I do too. I actually hope they. I don't know. I hope Belichick continues to do well, and I hope that they do well. And it just kind of shows that they were both great, even though being together would have been the best. So Thursday, Kristen, is schedule day. See, yes, you got excited because you like to travel to games. You like to go to other venues.
So I did look at Tampa's opponents, the away games for Tampa, and they have to go to Las Vegas. So I am definitely keeping an eye out for that date, and I'm going to book a flight. I don't even care. I'll find a way to go to the game, but I do want to go to the Bucks Raiders game in Vegas, whenever that is. So,
where have you gone? What stadiums have you been to on the road?
I haven't really traveled that much for games. I've been to the Arizona Stadium. I've been to Green Bay, but it wasn't for a Patriots game. I went to go visit friends, and then we went to a Packers-Lions game. But it was cool to see.
Wow, how was that? Cool.
That was really cool. All the fans out there in the Midwest are so nice. I almost was like, I was expecting to get, because I was wearing all Patriot stuff, and they couldn't have been more kind. And I'm like, no trash talk, no like fun, like back and forth entering. I'm like, wow, you guys are really nice. But stadium wise, I mean, I want to travel for more.
Did you go to Nashville?
I did. Yep. Oh wow.
How was that?
Yeah. Oh, we got
people rave about Nashville. Like every bachelorette party in the world is now in Nashville, and
yeah, it's I don't know. I feel the way I feel about Nashville and New Orleans. New Orleans, I went for one night, and that's probably all I need to do. Like, I had the worst hangover of my life in New Orleans. It was ugly. It was so bad. So New Orleans and Nashville, it's like, it's fun when you're down there, but I'm not in any hurry to go back. I feel like a lot of people who like Nashville and New Orleans hate Vegas, and then people who like Vegas don't really care for Nashville and New Orleans. I love Vegas. I'll go every year.
All right, so you've mentioned Vegas. All right, it's funny because Kristen is always like, "Yep, going to Vegas. See ya." Like, "Oh, I've got to go to Vegas this week." How many times have you been to Vegas?
It's not as much as it's not 9 times since 2014.
Okay, she's been to Vegas 9 times.
It's not that.
I mean, like, all right, what's the best hotel to stay at for you, in your opinion?
I'll stay at Caesars.
Caesars is very nice.
It's probably on my own. I'll stay at Caesars, and then a couple times I've had to go for work. I stayed at the Venetian and Aria. Aria is beautiful.
I heard Aria is great. Yeah,
Aria is awesome. Planet Hollywood's good. That was the first time I went. I stayed at Planet Hollywood. But if I'm going, I'm gonna stay at Caesars.
And it's right in the middle of everything, right?
Yes. Don't ever stay off the Strip.
So I stayed at the Hard Rock once, which is on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, but I stayed at the Sahara the last time I went. What was great was there was the monorail. So I could just walk right out of the casino, get right on the monorail, and I could go to literally any casino that I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
So I could get off at the Palms and walk across the street, and I'd be Caesar's Bellagio right there. The monorail's cool. If you haven't had a chance to do that, for anybody out there, just get on the monorail, look at the whole city, see it at night, all lit up. It will take you all the way to the end of the Strip, and then it will take you right back. It's safe. You can drink on it if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the Orange Line or like the Green Line, but it's like really nice, and it saves you on like an Uber trip or anything like that, and it's cheap. But so I love Vegas, but like, what do you do there? Because I know you're not like a big gambler. But is it like the clubs? Is it the shopping? Is it the food?
No, I don't shop at all. I don't even shop here. Like, I hate malls. No. And the shops they're huge too. You gotta walk through all of them. It's a pain in the ass getting through all of them. But I just when I go, I want to go and just be at a pool, the drink. Sure. I like the pool parties with DJs.
Yeah.
Those will start at 11 in the morning.
Yep.
I'd rather day drink all day. I don't need to be out at a club. Like clubs, I don't care. I'm not a big club person. I will gamble a little bit, but I'm not spending, a lot of money. I'm not a big gambler, but I'll play some video poker and stuff like that. Tables are kind of intimidating though. So.
Oh, yeah, especially there, and especially after like 10 o'clock, they raise it to like $50, $100 a hand, and things get a lot of hands. So speaking of Vegas and someone who loves Vegas, Michael Jordan loves Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And the Jordan documentary has been somewhat the talk of the town because they pushed it up. It's a 10-part series. We're 6 in now. And the latest episodes were about his gambling habits, and there's some interesting things there. But what do you think of the doc? Are you into the documentary?
I am. I actually didn't watch this last Sunday though. I went to bed early. I was kind of tired, but I'm an old lady now. But I have been watching. I will watch it eventually. But I know it was it with Tony Kukoc? Like, we learned more about
Tony Kukoc, the Dream Team stuff, which is good. This week's about the gambling. That's really what you missed.
Okay,
you'll check that out. But like the stuff before, it's interesting. Like Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman needs some time off, right? Hey, coach, I got to go to Vegas. I'll give me 48 hours. And what happened? And I still need to know the story. Jordan left Chicago to go to Vegas to knock on Dennis Rodman's door.
Carmen Electra's hiding behind a couch,
and so Jordan said that something was going on in the bed that he couldn't talk about. But Carmen Electra said she was on the floor with Dennis. So what the hell's going on in that room?
God only knows.
And that's Vegas. Like that is Vegas. Hey, one thing I do want to tell you about Vegas, by the way. So I did the whole let's go do more than just drink and gamble, because I agree with you. I love the pool. Yeah. What I like to do is go out all night, get breakfast, and then you got to get to the pool early, or too many people will get there and you don't have a spot.
Yeah.
So like you kind of like sleep on the beach with a drink. And then when you're hot, you go in the water and you day drink. Exactly. It's what you do. And then you'll get lunch with.
You mean like Mandalay Bay?
Dude, it's so
more like a beachy pool, like at the beach pool. Like
I liked playing blackjack inside the pool. Like that was one of my, and people wait on you and it's great. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so I did a little bit more like traveling. So I went to the Tim Burton Museum, but it was called the Neon Museum. It's off the strip, but they have all the old signs from like in movies or stuff that was on. So like the hard rock guitar was there, stuff from like Mars Attacks, Wayne's World, like all these Nightmare Before Christmas, Edward Scissorhands, like all these cool lit up, and at night it's all lit up, so it's so cool. So I did that during the day, but the highlight of Vegas for me was the Mob Museum.
Really?
The Mob, did you go?
No.
The Mob Museum's awesome. You go in, they bring you in and they sit you in a courthouse, and they actually still have some cases in that courthouse. So they'll bring you in there and they'll tell you the history of it. Then they'll bring you through and you'll see all like the 5 families of New York, and then Capone and like all this stuff. And then there's a Whitey Bulger section in South Boston or whatever. You just keep going through, and then there's this like, did the mafia have something to do with JFK? And it's like you just keep going through, and your mind's just like, holy crap. And then in the basement, they have a speakeasy where you can drink, but when they give you a drink, it's kind of like back in the day in Prohibition. Well, they'll like give you like a shot of whiskey, but they'll put it in a book. You have to open the book, and that's where the drink is, because they don't want it to look like they're like giving you drinks. You know what I mean?
Sneaky. Okay.
Oh, if you ever get a chance, and for all those people out there, the Mob Museum is awesome in Vegas, and I recommend it. It's worth the Uber ride or whatever off the strip. All right, Kristen, this is what everybody wants to know. When I told people you were coming on the show, people like, Joe, you got to ask Kristen about the TikTok videos. Everybody, okay?
Everybody, yeah.
So first off, is TikTok Vine? I don't know but what has happened? Is it boredom? Is it boredom?
I don't know, because I was so anti TikTok. I was like, this sucks. Like, what is this stupid app? And I don't know. I downloaded it just because I was bored here in lockdown, and I was like, watch funny videos people make. I don't know, whatever. And I was like, you know what? I'm starting to make a couple. Like last week is when it started getting real wild for me. I went off.
So what kind of performances have you been doing on TikTok, Kristen?
Well, so it's funny, I have to ask. I did last week, I learned an NSYNC routine.
What song?
It's Gonna Be May.
It's Gonna Be May.
The name like moves down from their music video, but it was hard. It took me like 2 hours to like get the choreography down, and I still wasn't happy with it. But I don't know, like they're kind of fun to make. It passes the time, and like when you do those dances, you gets your body moving, and you kind of work up a sweat when you're doing it. And but you can kind of get fun, get creative with it. And I don't understand the algorithms for this thing. It's really annoying because it's like you have to use songs that are trending or about to be trending, and then you don't even have to do the hashtags or anything. And all I did the other day was spray the mirror in my bathroom, and it got 1,500 views in like 5 hours. And then something that I actually took the time to like kind of be like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do different camera angles, all that. It gets like 50 views. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm like, it's like the dumbest, simplest thing gets the most. And I'm like, I don't know. So I'm having fun with it. I'm trying to, you can't take yourself too seriously when you're just going to have fun with it, And,
so I get a recommendation.
Okay.
I'm a Drake fan. I like Drake.
Okay.
He has a new song, Left Foot Up, Right Foot Slide.
I saw some of those.
Left foot up, right foot. Maybe you could throw one of those in there.
Maybe.
And I want to get into music in a second here, but maybe you can like the Macarena. Today is maybe the Macarena for today or something in there. I don't know.
But there is a Macarena type a popular dance on there, but it's to Funky Town. Won't you take me to, like, you have to do it. It's again, if you're not on,
or you could just do the like tequila.
It's not a popular song though. I'm not going to get picked up on that damn thing.
That's what it's all about. It's all about getting picked up on TikTok. That's why I am out. If it's about getting picked up, out.
I'm just, I know. I don't know. I'm probably gonna. I don't know.
But you are the person though. When it comes to TikTok, you're TikTok on the clock, kid.
Oh, thanks. If people can get a chuckle out of them or laugh and be like, "Wow, she's losing." No, I mean, even the one last night, because I saw that you wrote Fleetwood Mac on the agenda, and I was like, "Are you gonna mention my Fleetwood Mac TikTok that I did last night?"
Yes. All right, Kristen Surman, no chaser. That's what we put here.
Yeah.
At Kristen Surman, and I think she's on TikTok at Kristen Surman, maybe.
I don't even remember what
It's something. You'll find her.
Yeah.
So Fleetwood Mac. Are you a big Fleetwood Mac fan?
No. I'm not a I am a Fleetwood Mac fan, but they're not like one of my favorite bands. I enjoy I like the hits, play the hits. Me and Tracy went to go see them back in October.
I was gonna ask you about that.
So we saw them then, and I like them, but I'm not,
You saw Phil Collins live last year as well.
Yeah, I did.
And if I bring this up, you had a birthday party that was a surprise.
Yes, you were there.
And I came. Billy was there. Yep. And there was a cake that came out.
Yes.
And it was a Phil Collins cake. How cool is that?
I told because I never go out for I'm not a big birthday person. I'm not like, oh, it's my birthday, I want to go here, I want to go to a bar. Like, I don't, whatever. Like, so my family wanted to do something, and I was like, all right, well, if you do, like, I kind of gave they're like, if you do something, like, here's a list of people, whatever. And I didn't really know anything about any details or whatever, who was going to show up. But I told them, I said, if you're getting a cake, like, I just want a Phil Collins cake. Just put Phil Collins on the cake and I'll be happy.
Trying to find it. Oh, I should have got a picture of it.
It's on, I think it's pinned on my Twitter still. Is it?
I'll see if I can get on that while we're before we get out of here today. So you're a big Phil. How was that Phil Collins show? One of your takeaways was that you could tell that he was
struggling,
a little older.
Yeah, it was just for me. I when I was a little kid, my parents always had Phil music videos playing on VHS, tapes and all that stuff. And Phil was always on in the house, and I grew up with that. And I don't know, Phil was always around. And then I was like, I got to see him before, he is getting up there in age. You don't know how long these guys are going to keep touring for. So I finally went, and he came out with a cane, and I was just like, oh, and then he sat down the whole time. I felt so bad, but
I'm still upset I didn't go.
It was still good. You could tell he was hurting.
I wish I could have gone. And that's like one of my big regrets is that I didn't see Phil Collins. I know you're also in the music. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention. So you worked this weekend with Hardy.
Oh, right, yeah.
98 Father Sports Hub, and I was locked into the show.
Yeah.
Because so for those who are fans of 98 Father Sports or don't know anything about it, Hardy has a music background. He still does something on Lithium on Sirius XM, but he's like a real radio DJ. He's gone to shows, and he's not, but he can talk sports, and he's developed over time, and now he's probably the most dynamic guy at the station as far as humor,
versatile,
sport, exactly. But with not much sports talk going on, and he was just like, hey, let's do a show. Hey, it's Hardy. And I popped it on. I'll be honest, I haven't been listening on the weekends because there's no real content. Arcane here and there, but no content. And he goes, the best song, the final song on a CD. And what's the last one? And I just stopped what I was doing. And I was like, oh my God. And I just start rambling off in my head. I'm like, oh my God, Nirvana, all apologies, Nirvana. I'm just Green Day, all by myself, and American Girl, and I just Rage Against the Machine had Freedom, and Champagne Supernova, Oasis, and my head's just going crazy. But that was the best 3 hours of radio I have heard in weeks.
It was fun. I mean, just even everyone calling it. The phones were loaded the whole time. Of course, the phone screener was freezing too, but yeah, they were.
But what a topic, right? Man, it's Sunday afternoon, and everybody, everyone thinks they know music. Let's be honest. Everybody thinks they know music, and we're all fans. So great. No one's wrong with their opinion when it comes to music. But like that day, though, like it was like people going back to Peter Frampton days and like, you got to hear the Beach Boys song.
Yeah.
It's like, but that was like a hell of a show, and I listened to all those songs that day. That day I was doing house cleaning. It was a beautiful day outside. I had the windows up, and I just started playing like 9 Inch Nails, Closer, and like I played every last song on an album that I could think of, and blasted, and then all the other recommendations that came in. But that was a hell of a show, I have to say.
He outdid himself with all that. He did.
So, what's your favorite final song on an album?
So you see, the thing is, I'm impressed that people remember what the last song is on an album, because for me, I mean, growing up, I remember having to sit at a radio to record a song on a tape, right? Like, I'm old enough to remember the days where you had to do that, right? Make a mixtape. But I also have just downloaded songs that I like off of albums. I never really had to download entire albums or sit through albums from start to finish.
So, Kristen, the daily struggle that a lot of kids these days don't understand is, remember when we had CD books?
Yes.
And we would just go through those like, what do we want to listen to today? And we would just go and skim through that book. And like now you can just pull it up on your phone.
Just do whatever
and listen. So, okay, growing up, right? Aerosmith had a CD, Big Ones. You remember that? Came out in 1994. And I could tell you every single song on that album, but I know that it ended with Living on the Edge. Like, okay. I know it did, because I love the album so much. But nowadays, when something comes out, we don't know the order because it comes out on Spotify. Exactly.
And with all that being said, the one album where I do know, and the album that I really do love it's got to be Purple Rain. From start to finish, that's one album I know for sure that how can you, ending with that?
And we'll go back to this picture here. Here we go. I'll take this down for a second. There we go. Wow. The Phil Collins birthday. What a cake. What a cake.
Speaking of the whole Michael Jordan, talk and all that we discussed earlier, for my 6th birthday, do you know what my cake was?
Was it Michael Jordan?
Space Jam.
Oh, everybody get up. It's time to jam. Yeah. Oh, speaking of that, what are you getting back into the Jock Jams?
That's right. I was listening to like old Jock Jam stuff because I don't know, going back to my youth here, I guess, when things were.
I gotta look it up. Jock. I have a Jock Jam CD. It might be Volume 1. I don't remember. Let me go. Here we go now. Okay, Jock Jams Volume 1. What was on Jock Jam? Was it Everybody Dance Now?
All those things, because I used to dance. I used to take dance lessons and stuff. So my teacher was a Patriots cheerleader at the time. So all of our routines would be all to those songs. So, I loved it.
Oh man, those songs. I'm trying to think of what they were. I'm pulling it up now.
Tribal dance.
Let's get ready for this. Or like, come baby, come, or like Tootsie Roll, hip hop hooray, you're unbelievable. Oh God, that was Jock Jams 1. I don't even know if I want to go to Volume 2 yet, because
I could do a whole hour on just these albums. So.
Like literally. All right, so I know you've been to Vegas. You went to Barbados. What other vacation spots have you been to?
Vacation. Been to Cali a couple times. I did a lot of traveling for work. My last job, I was in like a different state every week, so I was able to see a good chunk of the country that way. But vacation-wise, I stick to Vegas.
Hey, real quick.
Yes.
New Kids on the Block.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah.
So I grew up in a couple of towns from the guys. They're a little older than I am.
Yes.
I had the Joey McIntyre button as a kid.
Really?
Yep. Please Don't Go Girl was like my jam. Donnie Wahlberg's cool, right? From what I gather, he's doing all these voiceovers for documentaries, and I've met him before.
Yes.
But I know you're cool with him, and you have like a crew that all like hang out with Donnie, and you guys are like buds.
We actually FaceTimed. I don't know. I'm losing track of time now. Maybe a month ago now. It was again pretty early on in the lockdown, and I was FaceTiming with a couple girls that I had met through him, and then I texted him a screenshot of all of our faces. I'm like, "Oh, I've got a hell of a FaceTime going on right now." And he's like, "Add me in." So I was like, "All right." So I called him on the FaceTime, and he joined for like 20 minutes because he'd been going on Instagram Live and talking to fans and stuff through there. So he's like, I'm going to go on Instagram Live, but I can talk for a few minutes, So he came on for like 20 minutes and caught up with us. So check.
Are you a New Kids on the Block fan?
I am now. I didn't grow up with them though. I was an NSYNC girl. I was born in '89, so that's when
New Kids on the Block is way better than New Kids on the Block was before their time. Way before, because there were like Boys to Men, ABC, BBD, like that whole thing.
New Edition.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like they were like white kids from Dorchester that were kind of punks, but like sang soft music. Like Hanging Tough was like like that was like we're hanging tough. And obviously we know that Mark, had his thing and then became obviously one of the biggest actors in the world. Whatever. Yep. But they were before their time. And I think about it now. I saw during one of those those concerts with everybody home. I liked NSYNC. I was just like you. The Justin Timberlake JC, like that was they were huge, and we know what JT is now.
Oh yeah.
But pound for pound, and I took them for granted. The Backstreet Boys might be the best boy band of all time.
See, it's hard because I have a loyalty towards NSYNC because you had to pick NSYNC or Backstreet.
Oh no, it was NSYNC for me. Like TRL every day at 4:00 with Carson Daly, and you had to vote. What was the song of the day? It was NSYNC that won every single time. It was. Yeah. So the battlegrounds, the everyone's on NSYNC, but here we are, 20 years later. Backstreet Boys still got it.
I saw them last year. I was in London for work, and they had a show at the O2, and I ended up going. I got some free tickets through the people that I worked with, and I'm like, yeah, let's go. And I had a ball. I was like, and I never got to see NSYNC, but I've seen Backstreet a couple of times because they toured with the New Kids. So yeah, I know Backstreet a couple of times now. I feel like I'm betraying them. My God.
And like Boys to Men obviously like goes, So if you can get to a BSB NKOTB show, then now we're talking here. Kristen Surman, this is how we wrap up the show. We obviously I know Marie's musings. Mm-hmm. We talk about things that aren't always sports. Starting with Saved by the Bell. They are coming out with a remake. Yeah. You, I believe, tried to do a TikTok of one of the dances.
It wasn't a TikTok because I wasn't on TikTok at the time.
What was that? Just a video?
Try and do when Jesse, Kelly, and Lisa formed that group Hot Sunday.
There you go. Yeah.
They made that workout. They did a music video, and it was like in a gym, and they were working out, and they're like, "Here's a message that I'm sending to you," and like. There's like a whole routine. So I tried to do that, but it didn't really work out very well. But yeah, so
the remake though, Zach is like, I don't know, in the government or governor or something.
Yeah.
And Jesse and Slater like are like trying to save the school or work at the school or whatever. Like I'm in on like when they did the Fuller House, that was cool. Right?
Yeah.
But like I don't know if I want to see Zach. I don't know if I want this.
I would have been more open to it if the 90210 reunion didn't suck that bad. Like that wasn't. That was kind of weak. So after seeing that, I'm like, is it going to be the same type of production, or I don't know.
Good point. So we might be out on this, but we might have to watch it just to watch.
I know I'm out, but I feel like I have to. I gotta watch it.
It sounds like you're into Zoom parties, huh?
It's died down a little, to be honest, because I think in the beginning, everyone thought that it wasn't going to be this long, like in lockdown. So like, yeah, like I had stuff on the calendar. I got like 4 happy hours a week here. Yep, line them up. Going to talk to this group here, that group. But I think now it's just, what is there to talk about? Because there's only so many times you can talk to someone. Yeah, I don't know how much longer it's going to be. It's just, there's nothing new. Like, what are we talking about? So I think I don't know. Have you been on them? Have you been doing group chats?
This is what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Besides the weekenders,
Yeah.
I haven't been on. You know what's funny? I've been getting weird text messages to join Zooms. Is this like a spam, or is like people trying?
Yeah, that's weird. I haven't heard of that. I know that there's like just people hacking into Zoom, videos as they're happening, but not text like that.
That's interesting. What do you think of these murder hornets?
I'm not worried about them. You can't worry about things that it hasn't even happened. It's whatever. They're hideous. They're just, oh my God, they're haunting, but I'm not going to worry about them yet.
I'm freaked out. I discussed this last night with Adam Jones. I saw the movie My Girl as a kid, and I will forever. And I also one time had a couple of bee issues. I went to a trail once and I got stung by a bunch of bees, and then in my backyard once I was playing with football and I got stung by a bunch of bees. So I'm a large man, but I'm afraid of those little bees. But I watched a video today on Animal Planet, and somebody found one, and I guess they're really big in Japan. And the guy took it and stung himself, and he stung himself so bad that the venom went through his body, made him dizzy. His arm became numb, and what they wanted to do was to say how it felt. So he was giving a play-by-play of how he was feeling, all for like us, just for the love of us,
for your sacrifice. Like,
yeah, I know, but like these guys have like crazy stingers, and I guess what they do is they like kill all the other bees and then go after the mother queen bee, and like I'm freaked out by these things.
I know. No, they're something, but I'm not gonna worry too much about them yet.
Okay, no big deal. Did you watch Tiger King? Did you like it?
I watched 2 episodes and I couldn't continue. I said, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I'm not wasting my time.
So Nicolas Cage is going to become Joe Exotic.
God, I can't take him. I don't know. I can't take him seriously either as an actor. I'm sorry. I'm out on Nick Cage.
You're out. That's what I need. That's what I needed. I needed that. Finally, this is the final part of the podcast. Quarantine is what I call this.
Yes.
Things that you've done during quarantine.
Yep.
I'm trying to make a song for it, like Quarantine.
Okay.
We'll work on it.
Okay.
What shows have you been currently watching?
I'm kind of sick of television altogether. I haven't watched the news in a long time. Like, I'll watch the press conferences for updates and stuff, but other than that, TV's been off. I finished watching the stuff I wanted to on Netflix. I watched Ozark.
How was that? Is it worth it?
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of messed up. It's pretty wild. So I wrapped up Netflix. I watched Mad Men too on Netflix. I watched that from start to finish.
I heard it was great, and I heard the last season stunk.
The last season is weird. It was such a weird. I don't know. I think they just kind of ran out of steam at the end. They didn't really know what to do. But it was good. And then I got a free trial of Hulu, so I just finished watching the 2 Reese Witherspoon series.
Is one Big Little Lies?
Big Little Lies.
Oh, I love Big Little Lies.
And Little Fires Everywhere.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one.
That's with Reese Witherspoon as well, and they're only 8 episodes each. So
Big Little Lies is great. Reese Witherspoon, Nicole Kidman, and Meryl Streep, dude.
Yeah.
And Meryl Streep was awesome.
Yeah.
She was like a crazy old lady.
Yep. Yeah, they did good.
I'll give you another one. Did you see Dirty John?
No, you mentioned that though.
I think you'd like that. And then Dead to Me with Christina Applegate.
Okay.
And then I like Insecure. It's on HBO. Well, yeah. Well, so there you go. That's a good one. And then if you have Hulu, I've been telling everybody about this. This one's been funny. So do you know who Little Dicky the rapper is? He has a show now called Dave, and it's about his like real life. But it's so funny. So I only know who Little Dicky was like maybe 5 years ago. He was a rapper, Jewish rapper, and they have a show now, and I was like, all right, I kind of know who he is. Let's hilarious. Like it is so funny. I'm trying to like compare it to something almost like Seinfeld and Curb, but about a rapper who's like a Jewish kid. It's kind of funny. So Hulu Dave in the 30 minutes in and out. It's all current events. So like it's stuff that's happening now in the world.
Yeah.
So I think you'd like that. Quarantine. What's your go-to snack during quarantine?
Cheez-Its.
What's the Cheez-It ranking? Is it just the Cheez-It? Is it the cheddar Cheez-It?
Regular Cheez-It. Classic.
I
get them in the bags though, because I know if I got boxes, I would just keep going and going. So I'm like, well, I just had one little snack bag, so that's
that's my problem.
Like four.
you know what's very good? Cheez-Its with a nice glass of Diet Coke. Oh, that's yeah. Because the other thing with Cheez-Its too is I feel like they're better for you than like eating chips, right? Or like another salty, terrible thing for you. Kristen, what's your drink of choice? Alcoholic drink of choice?
Just in quarantine, like
in general.
I don't know. I like a good whiskey ginger ale.
Oh yeah, there we go. That's mine.
Yeah, I have that. But I like beer. I'm a beer girl.
You're a Bud Light girl. So there's another thing. You like breweries and craft beer.
Yeah, there's so many around me, and I got like 4 within walking distance from where I live, so it's like hard to avoid. But they're great. No, they're cool spots.
Morgan checked in saying that
the burnt Cheez-It. Yeah, those are. Yeah.
I'm in on those.
Yeah, like I think if you're doing like marathon, like if you're tailgating or if you're at a park, like I would stick to like Bud Lights, right? Like just the light beers. But if I'm going out and I'm going to enjoy craft beer. Yeah.
What's your favorite brewery in the area?
What's that?
What's your favorite brewery in the area?
I like Idle Hands in Malden.
Yeah, Josh Daring.
Yeah. Notch in Salem. We got Old Planters in Beverly, Channel Marker.
Are you a sweet beer or what do you like the most?
No, I don't really like the sours and stuff like that, but I'm up for anything.
No chaser.
No chaser.
No chaser. Favorite frozen food?
Pizza.
What kind?
Just cheese. Cheese
pizza. No, like me. I like the DiGiorno, right?
So not DiGiorno. It begins with the D. I'm so bad with like brands. Sometimes I don't even know what body wash I use. I just recognize the bottle. I recognize the box. I'm like, that's mine over here. I don't even know what it is.
I love frozen pizza. Sometimes the cauliflowered pizza too is really good.
Okay.
Oh God, do I love pizza?
Yeah, frozen pizza. Yeah, sure.
So finally, Chris, do you want to tell people the story about? So obviously, I was nicknamed Jeopardy Joe, and you heard a song one day called "Da Da Da Jeopardy." Da, da. What's that?
I think you did. Like one.
Oh, I heard the song.
Yeah, you did.
And then Then I brought it to you. You tell the story.
You were in the Jock Lounge. I forget who else was in there, but you were like, I was driving in and I heard this song and like I thought actually there is a Weird Al Yankovic version to this of "I Lost in Jeopardy," and that's what I thought it was. I was like, oh, but then what is it? Greg, what's his name? What band is that? Greg Kahn or something? The band, I don't know, but Our Love's in Jeopardy. That's what it is.
So when you heard the song, you were like, "This isn't the song I know."
Yeah. So,
but yeah,
we just
Kristen made a bit for me. Played the song "Our Love's in Jeopardy" and played some of my, I think, one show takes that I had in like one segment, and it put the song together. And she still laughs to this day that she didn't know the lyrics. So
yeah.
but there's a lot of songs. When I was a kid, when I heard "Material Girl," she'd be singing "I'm material." I would think she was saying "I'm a Cheerio." Like, I'm a Cheerio, and I don't know why. Why, like, there are songs that have lyrics to them that only I create the lyrics to. That,
Yeah,
you know,
I think everyone does though. But I wouldn't know until the song comes on and then it would hit me. But like off the top of my head, I can't think of one. But
so what we got today is that Kristen, no chaser, she's out on bacon or thinks bacon is overrated. It's pretty much the big takeaways from today. So how are you gonna wrap up Cinco de Mayo?
Just gonna sit here. I'm just gonna sit here. I'm gonna sit here and have a Corona. Maybe I'll make a TikTok. No, I can't be doing that.
Maybe make a TikTok of like.
I gotta recharge. You gotta recharge the creative juices.
We got like a TikTok of like dipping salsa, and before it goes in your mouth, the drink goes, or something like, right?
You're on TikTok. You have an account, right?
I have an account, but I don't know how to use it. So maybe
check it out. I'm telling you.
Maybe next time when this thing ends, maybe we'll make a TikTok.
Maybe, yeah.
Well, or like
the thing is when it ends, I'll probably never go on it again. I'm just
it'll be out.
Vine
was cool. I liked Vine.
Vine was like just like a 6-second quick, yeah.
But what's this See, that's what I mean. And then now everyone's doing these dances. Like, are we going to be going to the club now and everyone's going to be busting out TikTok dances and we don't know what's going on? It's like Kristen's going to hear a song and she's just going to start dancing. And we're going to be like, dude, where's that dance? Where'd you learn that?
God. Yeah. I don't know. I hope I never I don't want to, again, just passing time right now. That's all.
Show topic, because I don't want to steal it from Hardy. Best first song on an album.
I don't know.
You'd have to think about it.
I gotta think about it.
But that could be the next.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be the next Hey It's Hardy show that may happen again. All right, she is Kristen Surman, no chaser, at Kristen Surman on Twitter, and you can find all her TikToks as well. Kristen, happy Cinco de Mayo. It was fun chatting up with you and on this. What is today? Today, Tuesday? Yeah.
The Taco Tuesday.
Dude, I can't remember what day it is anymore.
I know.
It's going crazy.
I thought it was Wednesday today for sure.
All right, I'm wrapping up the show. I'll be back tomorrow with Ty Anderson. You know him? Ty. He'll be on with me tomorrow, and we're going to talk about how whenever you buy bags of chips, you open it and it's already halfway gone.
Yeah.
It's like a car that just went off the lot, and you already lost money on it. And I'm sure we'll talk some hockey as well. So for Kristen Surman, I'm Joe Murray, just sitting here. Of course, you can find all our shows on Spotify, YouTube, and iTunes. I'm going to go get a burrito from somewhere in tacos and salsa, and Kristen's going to drink Coronas. And we will talk to you tomorrow here on Just Sitting Here. I'm Joe Murray. We'll see you then.